Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video. Welcome to a new series that I am starting here on YouTube called Rouge Clues. This is a series I started on my Instagram actually and TikTok. Honestly, I had a lot more to say than just like a minute and 30 seconds, okay? I want to make this a full series here on YouTube talking about all red flags in dating, friendships, marriages, what have you, and doing this all while doing my makeup, hence the name Rouge Clues. And today we're gonna be talking about one of my ex-boyfriends from high school. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Today's story is a little bit of a doozy. I don't think I've actually ever talked about this on the internet, so for once, my yapping hasn't gotten the best of me. I have really genuinely been through the ringer when it comes to relationships. That's also one of the reasons why I've been so passionate about starting a series like this. I just feel like I want to be y'all's big sister. You know what I mean? In middle school, elementary school, you're like, okay, yeah, you have a crush on this one and never really goes anywhere. You just like hold hands or whatever. This was actually the first real relationship I ever had in high school. And this story doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with the boy I dated, but more about his dad. By the way, quick random side note, this is my favorite brow pencil of all time. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. Look at that tip. It is so fine. So growing up, I always kind of had a larger chest. Like, that is no new news. You guys know I've went through actually 2 different breast reductions. It's kind of funny because that's what I was known for. Having big knockers, who would have thought? That and singing. Those were my claims to fame in high school. I don't know how it came about, but there was even some people that would call people that would call me Jugs. Wait, is this like a trauma healing that I'm going through right now? Like, I'm just realizing that all of this was not okay. And boys and girls would both call me that. And I just was kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, there's worse things I could be called. It's high school. Okay, my eyebrows are looking super Grinch-esque. They need to be trimmed. Before we get into the actual story of this, and this is going to be kind of like a special episode, we kind of have to bring it back, how I got this guy as my boyfriend. So this boy and I were kind of talking, and he had a girlfriend. I don't want to be the other girl. I don't want to be that person. The girl that he was dating, I kind of had a lot of mutual friends with. I know that it just would have been a very messy situation, but 15-year-old Nicole also was not really thinking, because it was my first boyfriend. And if you know anything, you know at that age that boys are everything. And there was never really anything like sexual or flirty in terms of our relationship. He would just say some things every now and then that I was like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. I should have known right from the bat what kind of a situation I was getting myself into. But needless to say, this guy broke up with his girlfriend and we started dating maybe 2 or 3 months after they broke up. There was also one night where he was like, I can't do it. I can't break up with her. Just like, okay, that's fine. Just stop flirting with me then. Like, stop leading me on. I can't do this. And also, I don't want to be the reason why you're breaking up with this person. Make sure you're breaking up with them for the right reasons and not just because you want to be my boyfriend. I kind of like shut my computer off at that moment because we were talking through AIM. I'm fucking dating myself with how old I am here. I'm 31, okay? It's not that old, but I feel fucking ancient saying AIM. Let's use Moonshroom from Lunar Beauty. I love Manny's eyeshadow formula. He always crushes it. But also this guy was a Sagittarius, and I should have known, being a Sagittarius myself, commitment is not an easy thing for us. And I remember as soon as I kind of like slammed my laptop shut, I'm done with this. Like, stop leading me on. Stop hurting this girl. It's not cool what you're doing. He calls me up and oh my god, I'm such a bitch for laughing at this, but he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just ran into a wall. And I'm like, what? Fuck are you talking about? You ran into a wall. So we started dating, and not to my surprise, the friend group situation didn't really work out the best for me. It is what it is. So me and this guy, like, we kind of became best friends in a sense, and it was great until it wasn't. It also got a little bit toxic. I felt like he wanted to see me 24/7, and if I wasn't with him 24/7, he would get a little bit mad, and vice versa. Also, this guy was kind of like a serial dater. He had had a shit ton of girlfriends before me. This was my real first relationship, so I didn't really know any of these red flags or really what a relationship was supposed to look like when I was 14 or 15 when we started dating. And so me and this guy actually dated for a very long time, and I really lost a lot of my friends during this time because we were so attached at the hip. You know, very first relationship kind of problems. You can't really find the balance very well. My high school experience was kind of ruined having a boyfriend. A lot of my decisions that I made revolved around whether or not I was going to see my boyfriend at the time. I would have had a better high school quality and a lot more friends if I didn't spend every waking moment with this boy during school and out of school. Purple, gold, purple, gold, purple, gold. Ooh, that's pretty. I think I'll do this color. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Back to the story. And so when it came to meeting his parents, I always thought his mom was fine. I don't think she really liked me because I'm a tough Italian girl. Also, like, I didn't really, like, let her son get away with shit. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care. I stuck up for myself a lot, you know? And I always thought it was weird. He would, like, tell his mom when we were fighting, and I was just like, what kind of weird mama's boy shit is that? I would always try and protect the boys that I dated if I was fighting with them. You know what I mean? I didn't even really want to tell my mom or anything. But his dad was creepy. And I always felt like he had a wandering eye, a little bit too oversweet with like waiters and waitresses. I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I'm taking note of this. I'm jotting it down. Also, you are a product of your environment. I feel like I should do liner, but I fucking hate wearing liner these days. I'll just do a shadow liner. And you know, this isn't also to make me out to be a perfect little angel either. I definitely got mad at my then boyfriend for talking to other girls, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that I just didn't trust him, because you know, how you gain them is how you lose them sort of a situation. Ooh, sharp bitch. Okay, I love that. But anyway, getting back to my boobs, because that's what this whole conversation is about. I remember having to wear a padded bra in 4th and 5th grade. I would always like hunch and wear like baggy shirts. Things wouldn't fit me properly. And you know, I graduated high school in 2011. There was no free the nip movement back then, okay? These lashes are my favorite. You apply them underneath. You don't have to add any glue. There's already glue on them. I mean, I freaking love them. I cannot say enough good things. I'm using the style Volume. Majority of my friends that I have now are friends that I made in my adult life. I just wanted to mention that because I feel like there are some people who get discouraged about making friends, or maybe just didn't have a great high school life, and that's okay. In fact, it's pretty normal. Even Riley told me he would bounce around from friend groups a lot too. I was kind of the girl that was friendly with everyone and didn't really have problems with anyone. But also a lot of people knew not to fuck with me. I had a side to me, okay, let me tell you. Boys would be afraid to hit up my sister because they were like, I'm afraid of your sister, Nicole. Not me being a cock block to my sister. I'm gonna cut the lash for the very inner corner just so that it's more comfortable. Oh yeah, girl. That's some pretty shit. They look like they were done professionally. The good shit. So growing up on the East Coast in New York, there were a lot of places where New Yorkers went. One of them being Florida, one of them being Ocean City, Maryland, one of them being Myrtle Beach. My family would always switch it up, but we would most likely go to Myrtle Beach. And so did my boyfriend's family at the time. And our families actually wound up being there at the same time. And I remember my dad dad kind of getting annoyed because I remember he was kind of saying like, great, like I'm not going to see you any of this trip. You guys are together 24/7. It's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. But there was one night where like we unironically were at the same place. I remember my dad getting so aggravated because he thought that like I told him where we were going to be. And I know that my parents really didn't like his parents, and they were kind of like, why? Like, please don't make us do small talk with him. You know what I mean? Just like typical family shit. Myrtle Beach is also like, yes, it's big, but it's limited in the things that like tourists do. We just happen to be at the same place at the same time. But I was just so upset because I was like, shit, I've been putting in my work, like really spending time with my family, you know, not even mentioning my boyfriend at the time, hoping that my dad would let me go 1 or 2 days and hang out with him. So I begged my mom up and down to let me go see him the next day. When one parent says no, you go to the other. That's just how kids work, right? And I already know that Riley's gonna be the tough parent and I'm gonna be the one that's like, sure. My mom says yes, and she's like, let me talk about it with your dad. I don't want to say yes without talking to him. And I was like, fuck, why can't you just say yes? Not understanding that parenting is a team thing. So my dad says yes, or my mom persuades him to somehow say yes, because I don't know. I mean, he was pissed, bitch. Somehow my dad says yes, and I'm able to meet up with him. He winds up coming to my hotel first, and then we were gonna meet his parents for dinner, and his parents were gonna drop me back off at my parents' hotel. Equal time shared. So we have a great time with my family, of course. We're just like having fun. My dad's in a good mood. Everybody's happy. And then we're getting ready to go to dinner with his parents, and we get in the car, and his dad like reaches around the driver's seat and like, you know, looks at me and is like, pulls out this application and hands it to me. I was like, what is this? He goes, I got you a Hooters application because, you know, referring to my boobs. Let me say that again for you guys to really just digest the fucked upness of what this is. His dad picked up a Hooters application as a joke to give to me in front of his 2 sons, basically demean me because I have big breasts. And that's where people with big breasts work, apparently. And somehow his wife let him get away with this? I'll never forget, like, my boyfriend at the time was mortified, and I don't blame him. I really don't. We were together all day, and I truly don't believe that he had anything to do with this or knew that this was happening, because his face was fucking beet red. The way that he was apologizing to me up and down, he definitely did not know about this, or if he did, there was no way he could stop this from happening. That's just the type of guy his dad is. My boyfriend had a brother, and the brother was like giggling in the back seat like a little immature. I just was fucking mortified. His mom didn't even really like turn around or look at me. And I really until recently haven't like sat with this and thought about how fucked up it was, because I just at the time was so embarrassed, so mortified, and felt like super objectified that I was just like, okay, let's please just as quick as we can move on from this conversation.
Delete me from this conversation.
Not only is a really fucked up thing, but it also is a tell-all that his dad basically was looking at my chest and acknowledged that I have a big chest. I don't know how I went on and actually went out to dinner with them that night. I do not know how I did it. I think there was also a part of me that really just was like trying not to make a big deal of it and pretend like it wasn't happening at all, even though I sure as shit knew that it just happened. Mortified. This is the type of family that I don't want to be around. I don't want to feel uncomfortable, especially at like 14, 15 years old. That's just disgusting. I'll never forget, like I told my mom that night, and my mom was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she was like, I'm going to tell your father. And I was like, no, please, don't make a big deal out of this. I don't know, like if my mom ever told, I think my dad knows now, because like it's something that came up once we broke up. That would have been a disaster area that I want no part in. None. Thank you so much. Looking back at it, I should have ended things right then and there. I was already feeling wishy-washy and feeling like my boyfriend at the time was extremely clingy. It was just one of the most humiliating times in my life because, you know, adults are supposed to be there to protect you and make you feel safe, and that wasn't something that this guy did at all. And I also feel like his mom was just like complicit with the whole thing in general, and like I said, I really don't feel like she ever liked me because I did stick up for myself. I was also 14, 15 years old, so please. I used to go to my boyfriend's house and I would ask, oh, like, is your dad gonna be there? Hopefully he's working late. I just would try to avoid at all costs going to his house when his dad was home. And he had a pool, he had a hot tub, and like he would always want to go in the hot tub in the pool with me, and I would always find excuses and ways to not go in this hot tub, not go to his house when his dad was home. He would even like say weird things about my dad, like, oh, your macho Italian dad, like, and I was just like, what? Like, and it wasn't until I was older, you don't really realize that when you're dating someone, you're kind of dating their entire family. There is no effing way that I was about to date his entire family, especially when I didn't feel safe and protected by them. It was a really fucked up thing to have to go through. And you know, growing up like that too, therapy, medications, and things like that, it wasn't talked about. It wasn't a thing. There was just that whole stigma around it in the early 2000s, you know? And I'm so glad that it's not like that anymore, because if I had a therapist at that point, I would have had such better guidance. And beside it being wildly inappropriate, what kind of respect do you have for your son by doing something like that? Where are the brains? Because it's giving worms. And you know, there is no bad blood. There is no animosity there now. You know, we're talking years ago. I'm 31. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this is like more of a series that I want to do to like help people realize the red flags and things that go on in relationships. Ooh, that looks so pretty. Easily distracted by pretty eyeshadow. I love the way that these eyes came out. It's been a very long time since I've done colorful eyeshadow, so I was a little bit like nervous doing this, but I think it looks good. I think we pulled it off. I still, like, to this day cannot believe that this is like something that I went through, and it was so wildly inappropriate that like when I actually like tell people about this, they're like, you're joking. Like, was this a dream? You know? And gotta stop yapping for a second. Hang on. These are the Tower 28 liners. They're really good, by the way. Cute. Okay, I need to find a cute lippy. For lippies, I'm going to mix these two. I'm going to go in with the MAC Creme de Nude. This is one of my favorite nude lipsticks, and it's kind of like a warmer nude, so I think it'll pull together pretty nicely. Okay, I think this is pretty. Pretty. I got my On Sale Doin setting spray. I like to go over it with a little bit of Max Fix Plus to just bring back some glowiness to the skin. And that concludes this episode of Rouge Clues, how my ex-boyfriend's dad gave me an application to Hooters because he thought I had a big chest. Anywho, I hope you guys liked this video. I'm planning on doing a lot more with Rouge Clues, and also in general, just like giving my opinions, my thoughts, my advice, and things like that with this new series of mine. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, because your girl's losing subscribers, because YouTube hates me because I never upload. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.